What's good, y'all? Back at it with another week of content. Shortly after this episode, the NBA episode will be out once again. New week, but there's three of us this week. We got a man down, but it's cool. It was a good week of football, man. College and NFL was a really good week of just football. I watched a lot of football this weekend. Ate a lot of food. It was a great weekend, man. But we're going to hop right into week 6 of the NFL. We're just going to touch on a couple of games, not the whole slate, nothing too crazy. But we're going to start off with the Browns beating the 49ers 19-17. Man, we talked about it going into the week, that how physical of a game we thought this was going to be. And McCaffrey and Debo got hurt. The Browns come out with the boombox celly of their own, and they're rocking 50 Cent coming out of the locker room. And then a little scrum happens before the game. I mean, this was just everything I expected, at least, and just a heck of a game. Weather got bad. I should have predicted that. Like, it's Cleveland, and just a game, man. And I wish Kyler was here to talk about it, but personally for me, I mean, that field goal, man, I mean, it's nice for the Browns to see the other end of the spectrum for once. But what y'all got, man?
Yeah, I think the biggest factor in this game was the weather. Even over the course, especially with my own eyes, week 1 against the Browns, when they play in the rain, like that team is built to win games when the weather is bad.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it doesn't help when the Niners do lose two of their biggest playmakers, but, I mean, the Browns defense, they showed up. And I think when you're an away team and you're the heavy favorite, I think one of the dumbest things you can do is start something like that before the game.
Yeah.
And give just light a whole nother fire under that Browns team, because you did see that throughout the game. Like you said, it was a physical game. But the game came down to, I mean, this was Brock Purdy's worst game. I blame that more on, like I said, the weather. But he did lead a game-winning drive, and the kicker missed. But at the same time, I mean, you gotta score more than you did.
Yeah.
I think people are kind of overlooking, and I know going forward he won't be the quarterback, but, I mean, P.J. Walker, I think he had 2 interceptions, but he held his own during that game, did what he needed to do to put his team in a position to win. Kareem Hunt looked really good, so I'd like to see the Browns use him more going forward. On the 49ers side, losing Debo and McCaffrey does hurt, but I don't really know how much that would have changed the outcome of the game with how the Browns defense was playing.
Yeah.
I know the 49ers came out strong, and I was just kind of like, well, this is what I expected. But once that defense got settled in, I don't know if that offense and that weather would have been able to do much. So that's what I got out of that game.
Yeah, dude. I mean, when you can just rush 4 and just sit back and play great coverage, I mean, it's tough. And a little bit on that PJ thing. PJ, yeah, he did hold his own. I think so as well. But Kevin Stefanski, man, you're winning the game. 49ers have been struggling, especially in the second half, to move the ball at all. And he kept, like, I feel like there were so many times where they should have ran and they passed. And then he set up that interception for him that brought the Niners right back into the game. So just some questionable things on his end. I mean, you do want to give confidence to your quarterback who might be starting next week as well, but it's just a tough look.
It'll also be interesting to see the 49ers moving forward in rainier, snowy games because, I mean, look back to last year. I know they dropped that game against Chicago, first game of the year, that Mud Bowl. If they're playing, Philly in the postseason in Philadelphia or some of these cold weather teams, like, they're used to playing in sunny San Francisco. So that's something I'd keep an eye on and hopefully avoid if I'm a 49ers fan.
Yeah, they better play to get that best seed for sure. Well, you take the next one, Nate Dogg.
Yeah, so Seahawks 13, Bengals 17. My biggest takeaways from this game is the Bengals defense they won us the game. I have a few stats here. Geno Smith, 25 out of the 51 snaps he was pressured on, which that is an insane pressure rate. It's good to see that we can actually get after some people. The Bengals had 4 sacks and caused 2 interceptions, and both those interceptions weren't. They were just bad reads. He was getting pressured. He just threw it up to whoever, and they were terrible reads. And then the biggest shock of this game did come from the defense, and is we only allowed 87 rushing yards. Coming into this game, we were bottom 2 in rush defense.
Yeah.
Like 31st. So that was really just the big difference in this game. The offense, struggled, but the Seahawks have a really good defense. They do. The Seahawks corners lived up to their hype. Jamar didn't have a touchdown. I know that hurt you, James, but it's a good win. You want to see us win against other good teams, whether they're in the conference or not. And we did exactly just that. And we got a lot of momentum heading into this bye.
Go ahead now.
Yeah. I promise I'm not just doing this to spite you, Nate. But truly, I felt I left this game feeling better about the Seahawks than I do the Bengals. And that's strictly just based off of how bad that Geno was in the red zone. If they converted half of that, they win the game. But the credit does go to that Bengals defense because I think on both sides we had questions going into the year about both of these defenses. On Seahawks always, the Bengals because they lost some people, and both came to play this game. But yeah, I had this on red zone, and so I got to see almost every red zone look, and it was, Geno's not his best game, and I picked him up in fantasy. So, yeah, what you got, James?
I'm kind of on the opposite ends of you when it comes. I'm not really worried about the Bengals because I think that win is exactly what they needed. Me and Nate talked about that last week, getting a win right before the bye. And then as their offense gets more healthy, if their defense continues to play at that level, I was really impressed with their secondary, especially with losing Jesse Bates last year. You got some young guys stepping up and maybe not some common names, and I couldn't even tell you, but I remember watching them like, man, those boys are flying around making plays. On the Seahawks end, I just feel like this team was they exceeded expectations last year, and their defense is so young, and they're still just kind of taking a step back, I think, before they can take a step forward, if that makes any sense. Mm-hmm. I feel like they got their dirt under their heels, and they were up and giddy last year, and now it's kind of like this is what this team really is. They have some good pieces, but moving forward, I think they're a borderline playoff team that their ceiling's not that high for me.
And I know Geno Smith has played good these last 2 weeks, and I don't want to take it, or these last 2 years. And I don't want to take anything away from just this game specifically, but I think at the end of the day, with how young that team is, the difference in them being a playoff team or not is quarterback play. Because his play in this game, this was a very winnable game.
Yeah.
I had to sweat that last drive for no reason, just because we didn't convert a third down. He had opportunity after opportunity to win this game.
Yeah, his defense was trying its best to bail him out for sure.
Oh, I definitely think Geno's the reason that the Seahawks didn't win this game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the problem for them moving forward. I just think there's something missing with that team, and maybe it might be quarterback play, but I don't think he's a bad quarterback.
No,
but
like I said,
I think they still might be riding that high from last season, exceeding expectations. Coming into this year, a little harder schedule. We just kind of see him as a 9-7 team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm feeling pretty good about the Seahawks. I don't know why. Man, maybe it's I'm not feeling good about DK, man. He's got to get his head together.
Diva. Absolute diva.
Yeah, speaking on divas, man. But all right, man, we can move on. We'll get to talk about the Seahawks because I think they'll be in the playoffs, and like you said, they'll be a playoff team. But
Yeah, we'll be talking about the Bengals a lot too.
Texans beat the Saints 20-13. Yeah, I don't got much, man, but the Saints have yet to score over 20 against anybody but the Patriots. I seen the stat. Well, it wasn't a stat that I seen. Bill Simmons was talking about this on his podcast. How bad Derek Carr is under a new coach in his first year. He's like he's only covered like twice. So, yeah, go on the opposite end of that boy. But yeah, like you talked about last week, James. Nobody's talking about the Texans' defense enough. But probably my favorite team to watch thus far is the Texans. So
Yeah. My biggest takeaway from this game was Derek Carr had 50 dropbacks this game, and they only scored 13 points. On top of that, they had they on the last 4 drives of this game, they were inside the 25-yard line. And you score 13 points.
Yep.
You know, that's like you said, I don't know if that's like Derek Carr's necessarily fault or
no.
there's something off in this offense. I don't really know what it is because they have all the talent in the world.
Yeah.
They do. But just you have to be able to connect on crucial possessions like that. That's the difference between 7 points, whether you make the field goal or not. 3 points versus 7 points, that's the difference between winning and losing football games.
For me, I was the only one who took the Saints last week. Not because I'm discrediting the Texans at all. Just I thought the Saints showed what they really could be last week against the Patriots.
Yeah.
But shout out to the Texans, man, because them boys are hungry, and I think they have a serious chance to take this division. Weak division. I think the Jaguars are up and down every week. But they got D'Amico Ryans, getting those boys fired up every week. Defense is flying around. I'm loving what I'm seeing, and I love C.J. Stroud, man of faith, just a good person all around. Love the guy. I want to see him do well in the league, especially after all the atrocious Ohio State quarterbacks.
And go ahead.
I was just going to say, the interception that he threw in this game, like, the amount of confidence that he still continued to play with after that, like, you love to see that. Because there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league, like, they throw an interception, and it's like, they get, like, real down on themselves. Yeah, like, put their head down, but, like, no, he just...
Especially being the first one of your career. I mean, that could go one of two ways, and...
I don't know. I just, you love to see that type of poise out of a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, and like going forward for the years to come, I mean, people are going to want to play for this Texans team. The free agents are going to want to come here. So hopefully in the coming years they can get some veterans down there and, build upon that leadership that their coaches already instilled in them.
Yeah. All I was going to say is, like even seeing it on their TikTok, nobody really pushed back on the Texans thing. Because it wasn't that hot of a take. I mean, the Texans could take this division, man. Let's move on to the next game.
Upset of the week?
Yeah. I mean, real quick, what do you guys think? This was bigger upset or Browns 49ers? It's got to be this game, right?
For me, no. Just because the Browns quarterback situation.
Yeah, true.
But
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna say this. No, I'm gonna say the Browns and Niners because I mean, like coming into that game, the Niners were the best team in the league.
Bro, the spread was like, 14 or something once they found out. But yeah, the Jets beat the Eagles 20-14. Man, the Eagles. We'll talk about them later. I got something to say about the Eagles, but. DJ Reed and Sauce were both hurt this game. Devontae Smith is killing the Eagles and my fantasy team all at once. He had a huge drop in the fourth quarter that really got the momentum going for the Jets. The Jets, if you remember when the Browns played the Jets a couple years ago and the Browns scored too early, the Jets almost did the same thing and allowed too much time for the Eagles. It was just a crazy game. But I left this game with one question. You guys can answer it after you have your thoughts on the game. But what's your guys' confidence in the Eagles 1 out of 10? Mine is still a 9. So what y'all got?
Yeah, I was actually going to match your number there with a 9, and I think that actually comes with the leadership positions they have on their team. I mean, you have people like Fletcher Cox, Lane Johnson, Jalen Hurts, who's a tremendous leader. I saw a video of them gathering everyone after the game, no coaches or anything. So, I mean, they're having accountability for themselves. Referring back to the game, Jets were kind of in the same position as the Bengals were coming into this game. People might not think it was, but for the Jets, it was a must-win game because this now puts them at 3-3 heading into the bye. And for the Jets, if they can just hold on to how strong this defense is, and they got some easier games coming up because I know we all saw the gauntlet of quarterbacks they played and stuff like that. But to come out of those 3-3 with Zach Wilson as your quarterback says a lot about the coaching on this team and especially the defense. So I like watching this Jets team play because I love their defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Both quarterbacks in this game did not play well. I think that's my biggest takeaway. I don't know. I don't have Wilson's stats off the top of my head, but Hurts had 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and one of those interceptions basically lost them the game.
Yep. 3rd and 6, yeah.
And then Lane Johnson going out in this game. Jack Driscoll is the backup tackle that came in, and he was getting killed like every other play. So going forward, I don't know Lane Johnson, like the severity of his injury or how quick he'll be back, but if they're starting Jack Driscoll, I mean, that's going to negatively affect them on offense.
Yeah.
A lot bigger than like it might seem. But I mean, the Jets shocked the world. They did. So you got to tip your hat to stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what this Eagles team reminds me of? Is that team you play in high school and they got like their whole starting lineup is all seniors. That's what it reminds me of. Like it's like a bunch of leaders, like you said.
They just keep getting held back and coming back.
Yeah, I swear, bro. It's like they've had these dudes for a while and keep flunking out on purpose.
My confidence on the Eagles after this game, I mean, probably still like a 7 or 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's still really high up there, but I think I have a little less confidence. I mean, you can't throw 3 interceptions. I know you're playing a great defense, but you cannot throw 3 interceptions in a game that you should win, that you're that heavily favored in.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We'll go ahead into this next game. All right. I want to throw this in here because I had a lot to say about this game. So the Giants travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills Sunday Night Football yet again. I know, and lose 9-14. If anyone stayed up to watch this terrible, terrible game, some takeaways for this game. Giants defense looked good. I think we got some key pieces in there that we'd like to keep in the next coming years. Deontay Banks, shout out. Our offense, atrocious. Our time management. Now, a lot of people were texting me, Tyrod Taylor's better than Daniel Jones, all this stuff. Tyrod Taylor did make some good plays, and I'll give him the credit. But you have to know the situations you are in this game because we had a play, and it was right before half. It was like 1 second on the clock. Or no, there was like 15, whatever. And we run the ball. He checks to a run. Time runs out. We kick a field goal there. We're up by 9 points. And then at the end of the game, we could have kicked a field goal there to win 15-14. Not going to touch anymore on the Giants. They have a whole mess over there. But the Bills. I'm going to dog on the Bills for a second here. I'm going to be I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I know they have some key pieces out on their defense. But the first thing I'll say about their defense is that what separates the great teams from good teams is people coming into those positions and making plays. And I know they held the Giants to 9 points, but I feel like it's the Giants. We have the worst offense in the league. And on the offensive side, they need another threat to get the attention off of Diggs. They need someone that the defenses look at them like, oh, we need to watch out for this guy. I know Gabe Davis came up big the past couple of weeks. I know he's caught a touchdown every week besides this game. But I don't know if Gabe Davis gives you someone you respect as a defense when all your attention's going to Stephon Diggs. So I'm not impressed by the Bills at all. I think they have a lot of things to figure out. Kind of went on a rant there, and I apologize, but that's what I got from this game, boys.
Oh, we appreciate every and all rants. You see my notes. Mine says sleep, because that's what I was doing. I was sleeping tight, thinking Josh Allen was going to put up like a nice little 30-piece on fantasy, but the one take I do got is this is not my own take, but when Tyrod did the audible, when I heard about this play, and their point was, like, why does he even have the option to audible? I mean, I know you always have the option, you know, kill, but I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, just a tough look, man. And the funniest thing I heard all week was Dayball at halftime trying to find the doctor from the Chargers, try to get Tyrod out of the game. That was hilarious, but no. And Nate, you got anything on this game?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna push back a little bit just on your point about. I think when you have a backup quarterback, like, I understand that you did hold them to 14 points. The defense played great. Like, you love to see that out of the defense. But when you're playing with the backup quarterback and you're that big of an underdog, I mean, I feel like in those situations you do go for the touchdown rather than kick 3. Before half, I get you can make an argument.
No, I agree. But you don't check down to a run.
No, he's talking about just halftime, because at halftime, like he said, you just don't leave that field with 0 points there. Like, nobody does that unless you're in high school or something.
No, but I agree with you, Nate. And Dayball's an aggressive coach. And when you're on the road, you're an underdog to a supposed to be great Bills team. You're aggressive in those situations, but you have to be self-aware of the smart plays, because we'd be up, I think it was 9-0. 9-0 going into half against Buffalo at Buffalo. Are we serious? That's a big difference than being up 6-0.
Yeah.
There was only 2 touchdowns scored in this game. Being up 9-0 is big. And also, shout out to the refs, because you guys did a tremendous job, supporting the Bills franchise this week, because it's crazy, man. Like,
especially at the end of the game.
Well, yeah, that specifically. I mean, I know you're scared to call a foul 2 plays in a row, but you just call it as you see it. I mean, even bringing in refs that have retired. I know Chris Collinsworth was talking to him. He's like, yeah, that's a foul. How did they miss that? It's because you don't want to call 2 on-time downs. That's what it is. Yeah, we just see it. They couldn't have too many upsets in 1 week, let's be honest.
No, you're right, man. And
they're the biggest underdog of the week, too.
Biggest underdog of the season.
Damn, I didn't know it was of the season.
Yep.
I knew it was of the week.
And Dayball won this bad, too, because of all the things that came out about the Bills and all that. But speaking of another team that wanted this bad to me is the Cowboys beat the Chargers 20-17.
Sorry, Staley.
Yeah, Brandon Staley's something. But Dak left this game. I'm not the biggest Dak fan, whatever, but it reminded me of when the Timberwolves won that playoff game and Patrick Beverly was on the stanchion. Because the man was talking about how it was a must-win. Mike is on his podcast dishing out hate to the 49ers and Eagles, saying that nobody talks about their L's enough. Yeah, I mean, just I was the only one to pick the Cowboys.
Credit to you.
Yeah.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Feels good, man, because like I texted in the group chat, I was feeling real good from the first drive when I seen the sea of navy blue all throughout the stadium. And the only Chargers fan there went viral. So, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. But to speak on the game a little bit, man, the run game, though, the run game has to get better for the Cowboys. Yes, they were making CD Lamb was involved this game, but I would just like to see the run game get a little better for the Cowboys. And speak on the Chargers a little bit. Just chill on Justin Herbert till next year, man. Just chill on until next year. I don't even pay attention to him until next year, until Staley's out of there. And yeah, that's all I got.
My biggest takeaways from this game was neither team was able to establish a run at all.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you can't establish the run and you have good running backs, you use them in the past. And both those teams did it very well at using their running backs in the passing game. But my biggest takeaway from this game, broken finger or not, Dak Prescott made more deep plays than Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was 0 for 4 on 20-plus yards throws down the field. And if you're going to win a game, especially a close game like this, you have to connect on those shots. And most of them were just Herbert missing his target. On top of that, he was missing a lot of wide open, just gimmies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just you should take, your 5 yards. Let them make a play after the catch rather than always trying to go for the deep shot. And Dak just played a really clean game. He really did. He made a lot of good throws on the run. Like dang, I haven't seen Dak do that in a minute.
Yeah, he's going to run in a minute.
And then Michael Gallup was selling Dak all night long.
Yeah, he should have had a couple more.
Like, those plays are the difference between this being a 20-17 game and being like, you win by double digits.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, yeah, those are my biggest takeaways from this game.
Another thing about this game was the penalties. I know that last drive the Chargers had, it might have been the second to last drive. They had some plays that was going to get them downfield, and just it was 3rd and 1 holding. It's 3rd and 11. I think that's when he threw that interception. Just like little plays like that, and that might come back to coaching. You're not coaching your players right, but I was actually still I'm always impressed when I watch Justin Herbert. I feel like that man, he has all the abilities you want in a quarterback, and like the fact that this man has broken finger and he's still making some of the plays that he is. I know you just mentioned that he was missing some deep balls, but that's hard. It's hard to throw with a broken finger because you don't realize how much you're using your other hand when you're throwing the ball and stuff like that. But it was kind of a must-win for the Cowboys in my mind, just because when you get a team like that coming off a loss and then you travel to Los Angeles in front of the world, you need a win in that situation. And shout out to Don for making the correct pick on that one.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take my wins where I can get them. Yeah, we're hopping into Week 7 picks right now. The race, check it on the socials, man. It's heating up. James is catching up. Nate had a good week last week. Me and Kyler are neck and neck. So check us out on socials on all these picks, man. But we're gonna start with the Thursday night football game. Jags are at the Saints. This line is New Orleans -3 because Trevor's questionable. Give me the Jags anyway, man. I don't think that the Saints Stadium is what it used to be. They haven't been good at home for a couple years. Give me the Jags.
Do we know how questionable Trevor Lawrence is? Because that might alter my...
I think he's a game-time decision. And the fact, I would lean more towards him being out based upon what the spread is right now.
Yeah.
I think if he truly was questionable, I think this line would be about even.
That's a good point.
Give me the Jags. I think the Saints just until I can really see their offense clicking, it's hard to bet on them. I don't even know who the Jags backup quarterback is right now, but might have to.
That's a good trivia question.
That was a good trivia question. I don't know.
I'm also go with the Jags here. Hopefully Lawrence does play. Just the Saints. I think this will be a low-scoring game, even if Lawrence does play. I think this could be like a 16-19 type of game. A lot of field goals. So I try to pick up these kickers this week for this game.
Man, that's a good point. Lions are at the Ravens. This is my game of the week. Give me Baltimore. Man, I just think who's the backup?
C.J. Beathard.
C.J. Beathard.
Yeah.
Oh, Kyle Shanahan's dude. But yeah, I just think the Ravens are going to prove that they're contenders as well with the Lions if they can stay healthy. So give me the Ravens.
Give me the Lions.
I'm going to roll with the Lions on this one. I got on my notes here. I don't feel like the Ravens secondary has really been tested this year. I know everyone's praising how great their defense is, but you kind of have to look at the offenses that they played this year. I mean, you got the Browns without Deshaun. You got the Steelers. You got the Titans. You got the Colts, which you lost to. Just some teams that I'm like, how great is that defense? And I think this is the week that they get tested, so give me the Lions.
Yeah, it could be a shootout.
I think this line is set perfect, though. Like, this definitely feels like a field goal game.
Yeah. So usually with those games, you're going to give the home team the 3.
Yeah. My Raiders, man, are at the Bears. They're favored by 3. I just want to point out they are odds on. They're favored right now to be 4-3. I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling real good. Give me the Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders as well.
Give me the Raiders. Justin Fields doesn't go to play in this game, and I think the Raiders are the worst team in the league right now.
I agree.
Yeah. Browns are at the Colts. I thought about this one for a little bit, but that Browns defense, man, what we just seen from Minshew Mania. Give me the Browns.
Yeah, also give me the Browns. I think 95% of people are on the Browns spread on this, so something to kind of keep an eye on. Like, I don't know.
The rat game.
It's kind of a trap game, I think, just because of how well they played last week. But I'm not going to bet against this Browns defense against a backup quarterback that looked like a backup last week.
Yeah. I bet against the Browns last week, and I bet for the Colts last week, and I got burned twice. So
Dang.
I'm going to take the Browns this week. Hopefully I don't get burned again.
The Bills are at the Patriots. We've seen the line kind of calm down a little bit on this one, -8.5 Buffalo, but give me the Bills.
Yeah, I don't know if the Patriots score more than 10 points this game, so I assume the Bills will score at least 11 points. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, also give me the Bills. I think the Bills kind of have a bad taste in their mouth because they should have lost that game last week. I think they know that. So, give me -14.5 on this one.
I like it. Put Malik Cunningham in. We all want to see it.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Just for funsies.
Yeah. Coms are at the Giants. I thought about this one for a while too, man. There's a lot of good games this week. Give me the Commanders.
See, this is another team where every time I pick the Commanders, I feel like they sell me. But give me the Commanders.
Look, I'm not going to pick the Giants much this year, but this is one game where I feel like I need to take them with the line being what it is. Give me the Giants.
Yeah, I could see Sam Howell getting sacked a lot this game. So
If our defense plays how we played last week, I think we take this game.
I think Sam Howell might at least throw 2 interceptions.
Well, let's hope.
That's why I'm scared.
You've had your eyes on him all year. Man Crush Monday. Falcons are at the Bucks. Give me the Bucks, man. Yeah, we're going to talk about this later, but Bucks will win that division. Give me the Bucks.
Give me the Bucks. I will say, though, every time I pick a Falcons game, just fade what I do, and you'll probably be up in money.
Yeah.
Give me the Bucks.
I was kind of going back and forth with this game, but I was doing some research. Since the start of last season, the Falcons are 1-9 on the road, and Desmond Ridder has not won a game on the road.
Oops. He really is a home warrior.
Yeah.
Until
So
last week.
I'm not knocking myself out.
maybe they should just throw Taylor Heineke in on these road games, and then just keep the other guy back at home. But definitely give me the Bucks here.
That's actually such a good stat. Like, I literally might just hammer Bucks money line.
Yeah, he's just bad on the road, dude. Like, you just can't trust a young quarterback that's like so bad on the road.
And even if it is Kyle Trask, I'm excited to see Kyle Trask play as well. So,
I forgot Baker got injured too.
It's questionable.
Yeah, still give me the Bucks.
Does that change your answer at all?
No.
Okay.
Kyle Trask season.
Yeah.
Wait, one last thing. If
Yeah.
Kyle Trask was like competing and almost won the starting job over Baker Mayfield, that's what we were hearing during preseason. I trust the Bucks coaching staff. They've been great these past couple of years. I trust that he's going to get them the win and be a good team moving forward with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And shoot, man. Kyle Trask obviously made Kyle Pitts look good. So there's that. The Steelers are at the Rams. This is going to be a really good game, I think. But no home field advantage whatsoever, but give me the Rams. Anyways, Cooper Kupp, I know that's your man. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Yeah, give me the Rams.
I think Puka Nacua is going to have a comeback this game, and give me the Rams. I think the Steelers, just their offense will not be able to keep up with the Rams.
You think Puka owns Joey Porter this game?
I think he does. If Joey Porter even gets enough snaps.
Got another stat for you. Under Mike Tomlin, the Steelers have played 10 games in the Pacific time zone, and they've gone 3-7 in those games.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah, they are coming off a bye, but still give me the Rams in this one. I think Cooper Kupp has an amazing game. I think he shows Pat Pete that he's old.
Yeah.
I've known Pat Pete was old since Vikings signed him.
No, he doesn't act like it.
Oh, dude. Oh, don't even get me started. I could talk. That's a separate podcast, I think, about Pat Pete. But Cardinals are at the Seahawks. You heard me going crazy about my Seahawks, man. So give me the Hawks, man. The line's -8, Seattle, by the way.
Give me the Seahawks, but I really, really like the Cardinals to cover the spread. Like that, 8 points against this Cardinals team, that's insane.
They've kind of been showing their colors the past couple of weeks. Defense hasn't looked as crazy. But
Yeah. I'll also give me the Seahawks. I'm with Nate. I don't like this line. I'd expect this line to be more at like 5.5. But it's just it's a division game, so I don't like those big point spreads in these big games. But still, give me the Seahawks reluctantly.
the Packers are at the Broncos. I mean,
Flip a coin, man.
At this point, every game is a kitchen sink game for the Broncos because they don't even have their pick. But give me the Packers, man. This J-Lo's on his way back this game. Christian Watson, let's go.
If this game was in Lambeau, I'd take the Packers. Literally just because it's at home. I'm going to rock with the Broncos this week. I'm probably going to regret my decision before the first quarter's even over, but give me the Broncos.
I'm also going to go Broncos here. Something interesting to keep an eye on is that the Packers just signed James Robinson. I don't know if that means that Aaron Jones is going to miss more time. I know hamstring injuries do linger. But their offense has looked terrible without Aaron Jones. And so I don't think he suits up for this game, especially with them signing James Robinson. Give me the Broncos. Just give me the Broncos.
Wow. The Chargers are at the Chiefs. I think it's either give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. But Justin Herbert will walk out with Taylor Swift in his arms this game.
Being at Arrowhead, that's so huge. But, man. The Chargers just lost a game that they should have won. Give me the Chiefs. Reluctantly.
Yeah. With this game, I hate taking the Chiefs here. I'm still going to do it. But this is like a make it or break it game for the Chargers, I feel like. Because they're what, 2-4 right now?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's going to drop them to 2-5. A couple more losses. You're probably not going to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a tall task to go into Arrowhead on a long week for the Chiefs because they played on Thursday. And you played on Monday. Wow. Yeah, but I hope the Chargers win in this game. I really do. I like watching that team, but give me the Chiefs.
They're 2-3. They had that bye.
Oh, yeah.
So
They dropped to 2-4 still. That's not good, man.
But the Dolphins are at the Eagles.
Game of the week.
Could be. Give me the Eagles. I think they're going to run all over the Dolphins. Dolphins will. It's going to be a good game, man, but give me the Eagles.
Give me the Dolphins. I think Tyreek's going to have a big game. He is so unstoppable right now. He's on pace to go over 2,000 yards, which is just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like, he's less than 200 yards away from 1,000 already.
Isn't it great when Justin Jefferson gets hurt? So we got to talk about the second best receiver in the league. But go ahead.
I was on the Dolphins until I found out the Eagles were wearing their Kelly Greens. So that is what actually altered my decision.
That's actually life-changing.
And
Hurts
just imagining Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and DeAndre Swift and Kelly Green jerseys. I'm a Giants fan, but that even is just – I just would love to see that. And I think they look good. They feel good. Bad taste in their mouth next week, and they give it to the Dolphins in a high-scoring game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It being prime time scares me from it being a high-scoring game.
It just depends. It could not be a high-scoring game.
On paper, it should be a high-scoring game. But just like I feel like every primetime game has been like, what is happening?
Well, I mean, looking like deeper into this game, you get the Dolphins who are going to go against a depleted Eagles secondary, so they should be able to throw all over them. But then when you get the Eagles, they're going to be rushing the ball. They slow the game down. That's what they're great at. That can affect the over. And then the Dolphins' rush defense is not that great.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to see a and then we're going to see the Eagles go.
Yeah, you're going to see like a 4-play drive from the Dolphins and like a 17-play drive from the Eagles.
And that's why I like the Eagles in this game because they're going to slow the game down, and that's what works to their advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. The 49ers are at the Vikings. I know we didn't talk about my Vikings at all, but, man, this offense looked bad. Wow. We made Brisker look like Derwin James. You name it. Everybody's looking like all-stars out there for the Bears defense. But so give me the Niners. Give me the Niners by a lot.
Yeah, I still think the Niners are the best team in football. So give me the Niners.
Give me the Niners. I don't care if they're missing their whole offensive weapons.
If it's not raining,
it's a dome.
We're
so
good.
they're in good hands this game.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy resurgence. I expect him to throw for 4 touchdowns this game, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Not to crap on the Vikings, just bad week last week. Probably, I say sit CMC. You don't need him this game, and he comes out. Kittle gets a little three-peat again, I think.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. My whole mojo was thrown off this week when Kirk Cousins said I'm not waiving my no trade clause. So yeah, I officially tapped out. But we got 2 raging questions that had us thinking this week. Who do you guys think is the best team in the league right now? Mine would be the Eagles. The only weakness is the secondary, and that's because of health. Jalen Carter, I know this is going to sound crazy, but to me, he looks like a top 5 defensive lineman already, man. I mean, the dude, when he plays, is wreaking havoc. I mean, that's my pick, man. It's a boring pick, but give me the Eagles.
I'm going to take the Niners. I think if Jake Moody makes that kick and wins that game, there's not even a debate.
Yeah.
With the injuries, I mean, it definitely hurts, but they're not going to be out that long. So I think right now, still give me the Niners. They're just the most well put together team in the league right now.
Mm-hmm. For me, I'm going to kind of go out in left field, but I'm going to say the Lions.
I knew somebody was going to say it.
Just right now, they're playing like some dogs. Like, they have everyone tapping in, believing.
Biting kneecaps.
Yeah, like everyone in that locker room knows. And they're playing their special teams, their defense. Like, it's all like coming together now. And with these other teams like the Eagles and the 49ers, like you guys said it, they're not all the way healthy. And luckily right now, the Lions are healthy. I know Montgomery and Gibbs, but it hasn't really affected how their offense is running at all. So right now, give me the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, though, like, I want to get your guys' opinion, but I was thinking about this. With all the upsets this week, like, even though the Bills didn't lose, I mean, they should have lost, but with all the upsets this week, I think that the NFL right now is almost like the most wide open it has ever been. Like, there's no, like, one team. Yeah. Where, like, we all just had 3 different teams that we picked. Like, there's no, like, one solidified team. Like, in the past, that was the Patriots, the Chiefs.
Yeah, and, I mean, you can still make the argument that the Chiefs are or that the Dolphins are the best team in the league. Like, and I wouldn't look at you like you're crazy.
I think that, like, this whole season is really going to come down to, like, what team peaks in that Week 13 and beyond stretch. Because if you can get hot right around then, like, I mean, that's the difference between you being a Super Bowl contender and losing in your first playoff game.
No, it's a good point, Nate. I mean, the league's wide open, man.
And one last thing about the Lions is the main reason I put them ahead of these other teams is like the fact, and I know it just was week 1, the fact they went into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs, that's why I think you have to automatically put them above them. And some of these other teams, besides the 49ers, who have they really beat that are some of those top tier teams?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I love watching this Lions team, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff for MVP plus 2,000 odds. Worth throwing a couple cents on.
Still? A couple cents. That is pretty, I mean, yeah.
Our second burning question, our last burning question is, who wins the NFC South? I'll start, man. I got the Bucks. I'm confident in this one. I just think they're the best team, man. I mean, just to talk about the other teams, I think is the best I can do because the Saints' offense is struggling. I don't think they figure it out until it's too late. And the Falcons, I mean, we've beat that bush plenty this year on how we feel about them. And, and the only other note I have written down, which we already talked about as well, is Kyle Trask had a great camp, so I'm excited to see him play. Give me the Bucks. Feeling good about it.
This is like it's such a crapshoot of a division right now. I really like the Bucks, I do, but from. I mean, we really had to go based off of what we've seen, but like from an all-around how the team is constructed right now, I think that the Saints have the best roster, and give me the Saints. I think that they do figure out their offense a little quicker than what we anticipate. I mean, I hope they have to. They literally have to win this division. Like you said, if they don't do it, it might be too late. But I think I do have confidence in Derek Carr, and just they have too much talent on offense not to win this division. So give me the Saints, but real reluctantly.
Well, I'll pick the other team and give me the Falcons.
Ooh, shoot. We all give them cases.
Yeah, well, to make it a little interesting, solely on the fact that they're going to have to figure out how to win a game on the road sooner or later. And then I think if they do that, then, I mean, I think it all comes together for them. Hopefully, because I think this Falcons team has such potential to be a playoff team every year. I really do, just with the right quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about Justin Fields going there or Kyler Murray. I think you plug in either one of those two, I think we wouldn't be having this discussion right now.
Yeah.
I think their roster is very talented. They get those skill positions involved, and they've been coming along. I mean, we're seeing Kyle Pitts and Bijan and Drake London having tremendous games, at least from a fantasy standpoint.
Jonnu Smith.
And Gianno Smith. So going forward, if they keep getting those players involved, I like the Falcons.
And out of all the teams we just talked about, I think the Falcons have the best coach. So, not a horrible pick.
Yeah.
I think, just real quick, I mean, like, I really want Desmond Ridder to succeed just because he's a Cincinnati boy, but you could make a real argument that if Taylor Heineke was starting some of those games, they would have a lot better of a record.
Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah, he's a competitor, man. Taylor
And
Heineke.
put Matt Ryan back there. I mean,
Straight out the booth.
Yeah, he called their game the other night, but... All right, man, our last little thing we got is our parlay of the week. Does everybody have one this week?
I'm cooking one up right now with
Ooh,
all the
live betting.
with all the information that we just
I'll
put
let
out
you
there.
go ahead, Dom, and then
All
let me
right.
get mine up here and loaded.
Mine's a spicy 753, plus 753. Jags money line. Don't care who the quarterback is. Bucks, minus 2.5. Browns, minus 2.5. And I think you're getting pretty good odds for a 3 leg, so that's mine, man. So,
Yeah, I like it. All right. So you know how I love my teasers.
tease it up.
So it's a 4-legger. It's going to be plus 350.
Mm-hmm.
We got Detroit Lions plus 7. So can't lose by more than 7.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Browns plus 1.5. Can't lose by 2. We got the Bills minus 4.5. Just have to win by 5 against the sorry Patriots. And then we got the Raiders plus 1, which basically means they need to beat the Justin Fields list Bears. So 25 when you 112. Give it to me.
I like it too.
All right, so I actually want to try to. We'll see how this first week goes, but in my head, I want to try this. So I'm gonna provide like a 3-legger because every time I make a 4 or 5-legger, I always get burnt on the last leg every single time. So we're gonna do a 3-legger. I have the Commanders plus 3.5, so not to lose by more than a field goal. Browns money line and Detroit plus 3.5. So I'm gonna put $20 on this. This one wins $91.
Mm-hmm.
If this hits next week, we're gonna take this $91 and we're gonna put it on maybe like a 2-legger, and we're just gonna keep flipping and flipping.
And then we're going to go to a 1-legger. And then
Until-
we're going to go to a half-legger. And then a
Yep.
quarter-legger.
Yep.
And then an eighth-legger.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then we're going to put it all on anytime touchdown score.
Yep.
I'm going to put it all in black.
Live.
Man, you can't
20
say
to 191.
them comms, man. Them Commanders, man, and Nate go hand in hand every week.
Nate
man.
loves his comms.
I
I
did.
play
Yeah.
Call of Duty with him. He loves his comms.
Yeah, he does.
Great comms. Great comms.
Come on, Sam Howell. Just don't lose by more than a field goal.
Yeah, man. Sam Howell, send this man some merch, man.
All right, y'all. It was another week. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys did as well. Like, subscribe, comment, man. Comment your thoughts, man. I don't care if they're bad. Follow the socials. But it was real, y'all. Peace.